1824 was a watershed election in the United States. For the first time, a substantial number of commoners could vote for president.
The Constitution simply says that the states shall choose electors. It didn't say how the state shall choose electors. And in most states, until the 1820s, the electors were chosen by the state legislatures. But during 1810s and 1820s, increasingly, ordinary voters get to cast their ballots for president, technically for the electors, but in effect for president.
Jackson, the hero of New Orleans, appealed to voters across the nation and easily won the popular vote with a count of 153,000. John Quincy Adams, whose support came primarily from the Northeast, received 108,000 votes. Treasury Secretary William Crawford and House Speaker Henry Clay narrowly split another 90,000 votes. Jackson also received the most electoral votes, 99. But he needed a true majority, 131, to become president. As provided by the Constitution, members of the House of Representatives had to choose among the three front-runners, Jackson, Adams, and Crawford. The fourth-place finisher, Henry Clay, having received 37 electoral votes, was in a powerful position to sway the election.
Clay was the hero of the West. He's from Kentucky, until Jackson comes along. Jackson's from Tennessee. And Jackson is the greater hero, being the military hero. So Clay swings his support to John Quincy Adams, who carries the day, wins the presidency, becomes president, and turns around and names Henry Clay to be Secretary of State. Now, in our day and age, this might not seem like a big deal, but in those days, it was everything, because a succession of presidents before John Quincy Adams had gone from Secretary of State to president. So in naming Henry Clay to be Secretary of State, John Quincy Adams essentially made him heir apparent to the presidency.
Jackson was furious. He publicly damned Clay for what he called a corrupt bargain.
He called him Judas of the West. Judas has received his 30 pieces of silver, and he will have the same ending.
Jackson and his supporters, they declared that the election had been stolen, the will of the people had been frustrated, and immediately in the spring of 1825, they began the campaign of 1828. We often think today that elections last a long time. Not at all. They don't have anything on the campaigns of the 1820s.